We're at the Seminole County Animal Shelter. Okay, this is where they keep all the dogs and cats, I guess. This little guy is too cute. These are all the dogs up for adoption, I guess. Tells you about them. Like public information on like how many dogs and cats are collected.
What sort of public information?
Like how many animals are collected, how many are adopted, and how many are euthanized.
And this one,
Here's the jail for the animals, and this is the jail for the people. Yeah. So when I asked the lady if they had numbers for how many animals they collect, how many animals get, adopted out, and how many get euthanized. They don't just have a piece of paper they can hand you.
And I will contact you as soon as possible.
That big building that was just at, that's a Seminole County Animal Shelter. There's another building right over here, and I'm not sure what it is. What's the Greater Orlando Pet Alliance, formerly SPCA. So this facility pretty much sits almost directly across the street from the Seminole County Animal Shelter. This isn't run by the county right here, huh?
No, the county.
You guys don't euthanize animals here?
Yes, we do.
You do? And the state doesn't help you?
No.
You're not getting any money from like the ASPCA or the Humane Society? You're completely self-funded?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What I've seen, the Humane Society, they generate $100 million a year, and they give like less than 0.5% to any animal shelters. To me, it seems like a scam. I'm trying to tell people, I mean, it is a scam. Mm-hmm. And the ASPCA and all, the Grade 2K people, the advocates for the banning the greyhound racing, PETA and all that stuff.
We don't get nothing.
Yeah, nothing. So just those few groups that I mentioned, and I'm sure that's not all of them, they generate over $400 million a year.
Yeah, they do generate a decent amount of money.
Yeah. So now I'm trying to imagine a world where they don't exist, and people still want to help animals, and they donate directly to the animal shelters. There's no way to know, but I'm sure there's a whole lot of less suffering going on that route. A lot less animals being killed, way more information being pumped out into the public about how to be a responsible owner.
Definitely spay and neuter.
That's our biggest problem, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. A lot of the feral cats are because they're not being spayed and neutered.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into their adoption lobby,
I did.
They have it on the board.
They did?
Mm-hmm. They have a board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is an independently owned, like, animal shelter. Self-funded. Not affiliated with the county. I have to go back to the Seminole County Animal Shelter, because apparently on the back wall, there's some kind of like a chalkboard or something that tells you how many animals were taken in this month, how many were adopted out, and how many were euthanized. I'm absolutely not demonizing these people for doing what they're doing. They're basically just cleaning up the mess that the society leaves for them, What are you gonna do? I mean, if there weren't places like this, you'd have the animals everywhere. Hey, I was told there was some kind of a board back here that told people.
You're Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Pretty good. He's
Artist guy.
Yeah,
I've done
that's-
some adopt-a-thon stuff with you guys.
Oh, wrong person. I was waiting on someone
Yeah.
else.
Hey, is it someone told me there was like a board back here that said how many animals you guys take in and
No.
oh, you don't do it anymore. Okay. I've seen the ASPCA commercial on my TV like 8 times this week. Hurry, time is running out, they said. It's the same commercial I saw like 10 years ago. The PETAs and the ASPCAs, Humane Societies, and these great TK people, they're over $400 million a year, is being funneled out of the public and into these people's wallets. And if they didn't exist, people still wanted to give. Imagine how much money that is if it was spread around to people who are really doing the animal welfare stuff like you guys.
I do know that.
I'm advocating for the greyhound racing only because these dogs, I've been almost like, I can almost live in the kennels now, it seems like, with these dogs. Like I can tell what they're thinking, I just become like part of them. They love it. They like that. If you let the retired greyhound go home for however many years, it's like they dream about coming back to those racing kennels, man. I mean, that's where the fun is. That's where all their buddies were. I'm not a dog. And I'm not pretending to be. People want to pretend like these dogs are people or whatever. They're happy there, that they get, running through a mud puddle when it was raining. I took some people there, and it was a little puddly out there, and the dogs are running there. It's like, this one lady was like, that dog would just be much happier on my couch. I'm sorry, that dog is having way more fun running through that mud puddle than hanging out on your nice clean couch. Said they got a 95% adoption rate. I don't know who's got a record that great, for adopting out dogs. I don't think anybody even comes close to beating
I know
that.
the track puts a lot of money into the adoption.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to over half the tracks. In the past 7 months, I've
We do
been.
their kennel inspections.
Oh, you do? Oh, you guys do the inspections, okay.
Yeah, that's a-
So I haven't caught you guys lie to me one time. And I'm around these dogs. I mean, I know what's going on. You know what I mean? As far as why they're demonized, why they're lied to and stuff. There's a lot of money behind it, being made off of it. But I don't know how much money you guys get from these people.
Us?
Yeah, do you get anything? I mean, they said that they donate to local shelters.
No.
So the Humane Society collects $100 million a year and only gives 0.5% to any animal shelters.
I will tell you, during the hurricanes, they reached out to us and said, "Do you need anything?" And we were like, "Yeah, we need some dog crates."
Yeah.
Because
They provided you some?
shelters, whatever. Okay, no problem. They're on their way. And we're like, "Yeah, we're getting this big donation of dog crates."
You never got it?
Never showed.
Well, these people have become millionaires.
Yes.
So what are the numbers as far as animals come in, animals adopted, and animals put down?
Well,
That's not a number you guys like to share, huh?
no, it's public record.
It
You
is?
make a public records request, I can print it up for you.
Do what?
I can print it up for you.
You can? Yeah. Could
Okay.
you?
We're the folks that dog gets hit in the car at 3 o'clock in the morning. Who are you calling?
Oh, you guys are open 24 hours here?
We run 24 hours, yeah. So if dog or cat gets hit by a car, still alive, we're the ones that are going to come out and take care of that.
People complaining about how cows and pigs are kept, but then they'll have a ham sandwich. They just don't want to see what's going on. They hear that they put animals down here, and then they'll say, "Yeah." But it's the public's fault that you even have to exist. You know what I mean? They demonize the greyhound racing industry because that's how you pull on the heartstrings of people. All the propaganda and lies and stuff. If they had to tell the truth about greyhound racing, they wouldn't be able to generate a nickel. It's a money-making machine, is what it is. So what I'm saying is, if the Humane Society was legit, they wouldn't be out there saying the things that they're saying about greyhound racing. You take an inherent risk anytime you're moving.
Right. But, I mean,
In your car.
the greyhounds are a form of a working dog.
Right. But the information also is given to people out of context. They want to tell everybody that greyhounds die on the track every 3 days, which is the furthest thing from the truth. I think there's 10,000 greyhounds in the state, in the racing kennels, or something like
I
that.
can't confirm or deny that.
Right, I'm just saying, and it's a numbers game. So if you were to take 10,000 dogs within a radius of where I'm sitting, how many of them are going to pass away in the next 3 days, or whatever? What I'm saying is they're not anything that happens to a greyhound for the most part. It's a natural cause. It's not that they're killed or running on the track or something. So, you know, it's just you take stuff out of context, or you just give them one little bit of information and don't tell them anything else. It seems to see.
Yeah, well, we have 8 officers. We run 7 days a week. We have a day shift, an evening shift, and an on-call shift for graveyard hours. And our officers do an average of 16 calls a day apiece. State law in the state of Florida that any animal that is adopted from a shelter, whether it be animal control shelter, humane society, has to be spayed or neutered. So that helps. So anything.
So when you get a stray in here and you're going to try to adopt it out, like
it has to get fixed. It gets fixed before it goes home.
Yeah.
So the numbers have gone down over the years. So.
And that's probably due to what, people finally wisening up, trying a little harder or something, or.
Yes, there's been a lot of education out there.
Yeah. So, and then that only goes to say that the more money that's pumped into education, the lower the numbers will still go, don't you think?
I think so. Yeah.
There's always room for improvement there.
Oh yeah.
That's what the problem is.
Yeah.
That is the problem. If everybody was responsible, had their pets spayed or neutered, there would be almost, you guys would be non-existent. Like they wouldn't need you guys. Pretty much,
I mean,
right?
we don't want pets to go away. I mean, so where's that line of who's allowed to breed and who's not allowed to breed?
Guys, I noticed there's a couple puppies back there. Like they're probably not going to stick around long.
No.
They're a dying industry. They shouldn't be allowed to do whatever it is because they're not busy enough. Like I can't think of another business where people would use that as an excuse to close them down.
June 30th of 2018, we took in a total of 8,917 dogs, animals.
In
Sorry.
what? In how much
In
time?
1 year.
1 year.
We took in 8,917 animals.
So how many a year in 1 year did owners surrender their animals?
In 1 year, on owner surrenders, we had over 1,000 animals.
Sometimes some people might bring in 2 dogs though.
Yes. We just had a woman bring 4
4 dogs
on Monday.
Here, take all 4 of my dogs. I can't do it no more.
Yeah, you have.
So that's somebody who should never have had a dog in the first place.
Had the dog for 6 years. Now I'm allergic.
Oh my
Yeah.
The woman that
God.
turned him in on Friday, the Monday before, one of the dogs was 15 years old. Shit him for 15 years and said, "Here, I just don't want him anymore."
That's disgusting.
Turned
You've been 100% transparent. I wasn't expecting that. And I wasn't trying to come in agitating anybody.
No.
People think I'm heartless, or they call me every name. All these people that were following my page ever since the bear hunt when I stuck up for the bears, right? And now I'm sticking up for greyhounds and greyhound racing, and I've been called every horrible name you can think of or whatever. I'm not for any animal cruelty. I'm with you, man. I'm for stiffer laws. Anybody that wants to purposefully hurt an animal or something, you know. I say, make them pay as much as possible. Throw them in jail. Do everything you can. This is paperwork that I got printed out for me at the Seminole County Animal Shelter. It breaks down how many dogs were taken in, cats. So this paper breaks it down and tells you that almost 9,000 animals were brought into the Seminole County Animal Shelter there. When you look at the numbers, the animals that were adopted out, returned to owner, still in foster care, there's just under 4,000 of them. So out of 9,000 animals, 4,000 of them were taken care of, which isn't bad. It's not nearly as good as greyhound racing at 98%, but no one comes close to greyhound racing as far as adoption goes. In all the videos that I've been creating, I've proven without a shadow of a doubt that greyhounds are well cared for. They eat well, they get plenty of exercise, they're treated like athletes, man. There's no doubt that this is far and above the most well cared for dog breed in this country. There's no bigger animal welfare issue than the animal overpopulation problem. If the Humane Society, which is the same people that's demonizing greyhound racing, along with the Great 2K people and the ASPCA and PETA, if these groups were seriously concerned about any type of animal welfare, wouldn't they be addressing this stuff first? Instead, they're going to waste their time lying to the public and trying to save the greyhound, the most well cared for dog breed in this country. with a 95 to 98% adoption rate. The public has been scammed out of millions of dollars over the past few decades. This animal activism scam is no doubt the largest scam ever perpetrated on the public, and it's only made legit by the politicians they give money to. It's dirty, it's nasty, and it's all about money. They could definitely care less about any animals. The Protect Dog people, the Yes on 13 people, it's the Humane Society and Grey 2K. They're advocating for banning of greyhound racing. Here's one of their propaganda flyers right here. Flip it around and you'll see a screenshot from one of my videos. If you watched the video that I did, that they took this picture from, you would clearly see that greyhounds aren't abused, but they'll steal a little screenshot of it and use it as propaganda to try to end greyhound racing. The Humane Society of the United States and the Grey 2K people are using clips from my greyhound videos in their anti-racing commercials that you'll find on social media. Half of the video footage that they showed was taken from me. It was slowed down, it was darkened, they play eerie music. Everything about Grey 2K and the Humane Society of the United States is deceptive, and it's all done so that you can't help but donate to their cause. If they had to tell you the truth, they wouldn't be able to raise a nickel. No one's paying me to do this. I'm doing it because these scam artists have gotten away with this for decades. I'm trying to educate the public. I'm trying to warn the public because nobody else is going to do it. Yeah, I just read a little article today where the Humane Society of the United States has raised over $200,000, and all of the money is coming out of California. You've got, and I've been warning Florida, you better be careful, man. Our Florida Constitution is 3 times thicker than the U.S. Constitution. I've been warning you we're going to wind up like California. Now we got $200,000 coming straight up from California to change our Florida Constitution. They want us to be like them. Do you want to be the next California? Then you best vote no on every single constitutional amendment. Especially no on 13. Vote no, Florida.